Good morning, everybody. Our today's topic is pancreas. Pancreas is a gland that help in that is associated with the alimentary canal. It is lying below the stomach. It is a pale yellow shaped, yellow colored, leaf shaped gland, and it is associated with the digestive system. Now this can be seen in the diagram. Tail of the pancreas, this is the flattened region, and the broader region is called as the head of the pancreas, and greater duodenal papillae, and the small green colored duct that is seen on the surface of the pancreas is accessory pancreatic duct, through which the pancreatic juice will be transported to the duodenum, which is the beginning part of the small intestine. So this gland is dual in nature, that is, a part of the pancreas is exocrine in nature, which will secrete the pancreatic juice and transport it through the pancreatic duct into the duodenum, and the other part is endocrine pancreas. So the endocrine pancreas will secrete hormones, and especially the well known endocrine secretion is insulin, glucagon, etc. But the insulin is most familiar because the sugar levels that are maintained in the blood of a person is due to the release of insulin, and it is released and it is synthesized in the beta cells of islets of Langerhans. So if you see the transfer section of the pancreas, this can be seen. So the red colored elongated cells that are in the surrounding region of islets, that is alpha cells. The purple colored cells that is inside the alpha cells, that is beta cells, and yellow and pink are delta cells, whereas green colored cells that are indicated in the diagram, they are called as F cells. So islets of Langerhans, that is in the inner layer of the pancreas, one can see in the transfer section there are 4 types of islets: alpha, beta, delta, and F cells. So alpha, beta, delta, and F cells can be clearly seen because they have been labeled with that is, they have been colored differently. So the dark red cells are alpha cells, that is in the peripheral region of this inner side, and purple color cells that are slightly inside the inner side, that is beta cells, and these cells are responsible for the production of insulin. And yellow cells that are indicated here and there in the TS or transfer section of this pancreas, they are delta cells, and F cells are colored with green. So to differentiate so this all 4 types of cells will constitute the endocrine pancreas. The surrounding region is exocrine pancreas. So exocrine pancreas will secrete the pancreatic juice, and that will be transported to the digestive system through pancreatic duct, whereas endocrine pancreas will not have any duct, because this is the endocrine part. This secretion is that means there is no duct for this, because endocrine glands are supposed to be the ductless glands, and this secretion will be directly released into the bloodstream, because in the pancreas the blood vessels are richly supplied, and in those the blood stream only the secretion of endocrine part will be released. So there are 4 types of endocrine cells in the pancreas. Alpha cells that will secrete glucagon, and 25% of those cells will be present, and beta cells will secrete insulin, and delta cells will secrete somatostatin, and F cells secrete pancreatic polypeptides, and they are only 2% of the cells. So the different hormones that are produced in the pancreas, they are listed now, and the hormones have their particular function. Glucagon, alpha cells produce glucagon, as we have seen in the diagram in the transfer section of the islets of Langerhans. So alpha cells produce glucagon and stores and secretes secreted in the alpha cells. Glucagon stimulates the glucogenolysis, so that is the breaking of glycogen, and gluconeogenesis. These two phenomena are controlled and regulated by glucagon. So it increases the blood sugar level, because the newly synthesis of gluconeogenesis and glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis is a process in which the extra sugar in the blood is stored in the form of glycogen, and whenever it is needed, that glycogen will be broken down, and that process is called as glycogenolysis. And gluconeogenesis is the production of glucose newly. So by both the processes, the blood sugar level is maintained, or it increases in the blood when it is needed. So insulin is produced by beta cells, and it store and secreted by the beta cells. So insulin stimulates glycogenesis, that is synthesis of glycogen, because when we take food, whatever the digested carbohydrates, that will be converted in the form of glucose, and that will be absorbed into the blood, and that absorbed glucose will be useful in certain range, and whatever extra glucose is present in the blood, that with the help of insulin, it will be converted to glycogen and stored in the liver, and that decreases the blood sugar, because whatever the total sugar is present in the diet at a time, it will not be used up. So a particular range will be used up, and some extra, whatever is present in the extra range, that will be stored for the future. So whenever the person is hungry or it needs energy, that stored glycogen will be broken through glycogenolysis, and it will be released into the blood to maintain the blood sugar level. So extra glucose will be stored in the form of glycogen with the help of insulin. So insulin function opposite to glucagon, because and work to maintain normal glucose level in the blood. These are the two major hormones. So one is decreases the blood sugar level by storing the extra glucose into the liver, and the other, glucagon, will release the glucose by breaking or by glycogenolysis. So these are the two hormones, they function in the opposite direction. So endocrine pancreas has 4 types of cells, as already has been mentioned in the discussion, that is alpha, beta, delta and F cells. So the functions of hormones is breakdown of glycogen glucagon, has 2 functions, that is breakdown of glycogen in the liver and muscles and increase the glucose level in the blood. So insulin is just opposite to that, increase in the membrane permeability for the glucose, excess glucose oxidation in tissue is performed by glucose and lowering the glucose level in the blood and synthesis of glycogen in the liver and muscles. So whatever extra glucose is there in the blood beyond the range, that will be stored in the form of glycogen. So glycogenesis is the function done by insulin, and it will increase the membrane permeability for glucose, and it also perform the oxidation of glucose, excess glucose oxidation in tissues and synthesis of glycogen in the liver and muscles and lowering the protein breakdown. Somatostatin is secreted by delta islets, the inhibition of release of gastrointestinal hormones. So it will inhibit the release of gastrointestinal hormones. And pancreatic polypeptides, they self-regulate the pancreas secretion and activities and affect the hepatic glycogen levels. So these are the functions that are done by the hormones. Insulin is a polypeptide hormone, consists of 2 chains, alpha and beta, A and B. So A is 21 amino acid long and B has 30 amino acid long. So you can see in the diagram the 2 chains of insulin, alpha chain and beta chain, or A chain and B chain, and the 2 chains are linked together by disulfide bonds. You can see in between the 2 chains bond is present between sulfur and sulfur, and on other side also you can see the bond between the 2 chains with the help of sulfur atoms. So these are the beta cells. At first synthesize a big molecule of called as preproinsulin, and from this 24 amino acid containing segment called signal sequence, and it is removed, and this remaining Ca linked proinsulin contain both A and B chains, but 2 chains are joined by C peptide containing 31 amino acids. C peptide is enzymatically removed and mature insulin is formed and stored in beta cells. So the insulin is mainly an anabolic hormone because it synthesizes glycogen. It helps in increasing the storage of glycogen in the muscle, and the major target of the organs of insulin are as follows: liver, adipose tissue and muscle. The major anabolic effects of the insulin are liver glycogenesis increases, but the glycogenolysis decreases, hence the release of glucose from liver, therefore carbohydrate is stored in the liver. In adipose tissue, glucose uptake increase and form fat, lipolysis, the process is called as lipolysis, and hence the liver receives less amount of FFA, thus adipose tissue fat in body increases.